The Volkswagen Tiguan, one of the world's best-selling mid to large SUVs. Volkswagen have just released the third generation of this car. Today I'm going to be telling you almost everything you need to know about this new Volkswagen Tiguan. The Tiguan has been a huge success from its launch of the first generation in 2007. Since then it's had a facelift in 2012, then a whole new generation in 2016, which had a facelift in 2020, and that brings us to the current day. The new model may look a lot bigger, but it's actually 3 centimeters longer than the outgoing model, and the width and height are much the same, so not a huge change there. Let's start at the outside of the Tiguan. You can see it's got more of a smoother sort of curvier shape. The first generation car was very curvy in fact, and the second generation was a lot more boxy and sharp looking. This third generation I think blends the two very well. I do prefer the look of the elegance more than the R-Line. That's just in the initial shots anyway. We've seen 2 new colours being launched on them. We have the Persimmon Red and we also have the Cipressino Green. The Cipressino Green looks a little bit like the dark Overline Green off the ID3 for me. I think it's a touch too dark. I've never really been a fan of red cars either, so the Persimmon Red isn't appealing to me massively, but I can imagine it will to some people. It's sort of an orangey red. We haven't been told all the colours that will be on the Tiguan, although in a rendering I've seen it in sort of a beigey metallic colour, and it did really look like the Mark 1 Tiguan, and I actually really liked it. But hopefully we're going to see nice blues and different colours from Volkswagen on the new Tiguan, because these 2 new colours, not a huge fan of. Also the name Persimmon Red, I think a lot of people are going to just call that Permission Red. In my head was looking at them the wrong way, and that's all anyone's going to hear, Permission Red. Volkswagen are not making it easy for their customers with these names of colours. The interior of the Tiguan now is focused on being more digitally connected, if that makes sense. Volkswagen in recent years have had complaints about the touch-sensitive buttons on the steering wheel, so they've removed these on the new model and they're the physical buttons, which is great to see. Climate control, however, is controlled through the screen now, which it actually wasn't on the previous Tiguan, it was lower down. But on other Volkswagen models it has been controlled through the screen, such as the Golf, and that has been a complaint. So I'm surprised they haven't had separate controls for the new Tiguan. However, they will be backlit on this new screen, which is very exciting. Not exciting, I mean it's the bare minimum, they should be doing this, so you can see your climate in the dark. I mean, it's not actually a thing on the Golf, so the fact that they're doing that is great. It needed to be done, essentially. The screen size is available in 2 sizes, 12.9 inch, which seems massive anyway, and 15 inch. Huge screens. The outgoing model had an 8-inch centre touchscreen, which is the same as what's in my Golf, and I guess compared to nowadays standards could be a little bit small. It was also placed quite a bit lower down, so out of sight sort of thing. This new one is one of those high up displays, and I can't help but thinking they look a bit massive. But I guess these things sort of grow on you over time, and it's kind of what all manufacturers are doing it. But just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean they had to do it. However, the materials and quality looks excellent in the new Tiguan. I'd expect a significant price bump as well from the outgoing model. Currently the outgoing model is available with a few trim levels. We have Life, Elegance, Black Edition and R-Line as well. So that's a few trim levels there. There's also a Tiguan All-Space at the moment, which gives a bigger boot or 7 seats, whichever you want. And we haven't had anything confirmed for the new Tiguan if an All-Space is going to arrive. With the original Tiguan, the All-Space arrived a couple of years later, so maybe we will see a Tiguan All-Space. I hope we do, because they are a very good seller and they're great for families and Motability customers as well. Another thing to combat infotainment issues, Volkswagen has also added a driver experience switch, as they call it. This is a little button, if you like, with a small OLED screen, and it can be used to change drive mode. It's got a physical sort of turn and a screen on it to change volume, etc. So very clever, and just a little interactive thing in the middle. In fact, to me, it almost reminds me of, oh, go away Siri. It almost reminds me of an Apple Watch. That's essentially what it is. It's a small OLED screen and you can switch between different things. We'll see in practice how useful this actually is, but quite exciting new feature to be added onto this car. On the previous models, you did have the option of a manual transmission and you had plug-in hybrid on the outgoing model as well. Plug-in hybrid and hybrid technology, of course, has become much more popular in current years. That's why it's going to be having an all-new plug-in hybrid powertrain. The new plug-in hybrid Tiguan has a much bigger battery. It's now 19.7 kilowatt hours, nearly 20, which is really impressive. It's a large battery. It also is capable of fast charging now, which is great. A lot of plug-in hybrids aren't capable of fast charging, even the new Honda CR-V. Click in the pop-out banner to watch my review on the new plug-in hybrid CR-V. The plug-in hybrid Tiguan now has a range of up to 100 kilometers or 62 miles official, but still as an official range, that's amazing. That's really good, and it's going to make sense for a lot of people and will have a low benefit in kind tax. So that's very exciting for company car drivers, and overall it just gives a nice premium feel. The previous Tiguan or current Tiguan has the e-hybrid as well, but it's a 1.4 TSI. So we're seeing the 1.5 TSI now on this new model, paired with a 113 brake horsepower electric motor as well. It's going to drive the front wheels, so like the CR-V, it's going to be front wheel drive on the plug-in hybrid. I think this makes a lot of sense. Lots of people have said plug-in hybrid should be four-wheel drive, but I get it. Front wheel drive, plug-in hybrid, go around town a lot but want that large SUV feel, so I think that makes a lot of sense. Of course, UK specification may be a little bit different and we may not get every single engine that has been talked about. So there will be TDI diesel engines, a choice of a few. There'll be 150 PS or 148 brake horsepower engine, which will be front wheel drive, and there'll also be the 190 PS four wheel drive as well. All models will be the DSG automatic gearbox, 7-speed on the petrol and diesel models and 6-speed on the plug-in hybrid model. New gear changer is actually on a stalk, but not quite like the ID models. Volkswagen wanted to make it the perfect blend between a internal combustion engine feel Volkswagen and one of the ID Volkswagens. This is quite nice because lots of the things in the ID models, which are not the most popular of cars, and I can understand why, because they don't have that identity, but lots of the features and principles on the cars are very clever. So blending the two will work for a lot of people. That includes the look of the outside. It's got more of an aerodynamic shape, and I really like the look of this. It does make sense that they're all DSG models now, as only the Life, which was the base model on this the current Tiguan now, is available with a 6-speed manual gearbox. Other than that, all the R-Lines Elegances have always been DSG, so it makes sense that they're moving over to it. Automatic is the best seller really on this size of SUV, but I would have liked to see a manual option. However, the smaller T-Roc and Tiggo and T-Cross all have that option for now, so it's not the end of the world really. What is a new Tiguan expected to set you back? Well, full UK specification hasn't actually been launched yet. So unfortunately I can't tell you the exact prices for each trim level, etc. Of course as well, we haven't seen the official photos of the base model, which we expect to see as the Life. We've only seen Elegance and R-Line images. Currently the Tiguan starts at just under £31,000. That's for a Life model and manual. Of course manual is not an option anymore. I'd expect the new model to start at just under £35,000 for a base model. The current Elegance Tiguan starts around £37,000, so I'd expect the new one to start around £40,000 and the R-Line similar as well. So we're going to see quite a large increase. Currently as well, a Life Tiguan plug-in hybrid is £37,000. I'd expect that to see £40,000. So for a top-loaded plug-in hybrid R-Line Tiguan, we're most likely going to see upwards of £50,000. So it's not going to be a cheap vehicle at all, but you can see how much they've added to this car to really show everything that it's got. They've got the new Ergo Active comfort seats in it for longer journeys. They've got the vehicle dynamics control, with the DCC dynamic chassis control. You can also upgrade that to have adjustable shock absorbers, so all sorts. There's so much technology on this car, I would bore you for hours talking about it all, and still need to get my head around everything as well, because there's so much going on. Hopefully this video gave you a good idea though of what the new Tiguan is about. You can see it sort of blends the ID styling and the electrification with the normal Tiguan. Of course, it's on the MQB EVO chassis as well, which is what the Golf 8 is based on. So sort of derived from what the Golf 7 and brought the MQB platform, which the previous Tiguan was based on, and the MQB EVO is slightly newer, and it's sort of focused on having better plug-in hybrid range, structure to have different engines of different sort of configurations. So it's very clever how they've done it. But yeah, hopefully this video gave you a little idea of what the new Tiguan is about. I am very excited to see it. Apparently, according to Volkswagen, we will see it as early as Q1 in showrooms. I would expect we're probably not going to see many 73 plate brand new Tiguans. We're going to mostly see 24, so I'm guessing it's going to be March, April that we'll properly start seeing them in showrooms, and spring, summertime where we'll see them really hit the road. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments down below, and if you like new car reviews and car content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sam and I make car reviews and content every single week. I do also post on TikTok and sometimes Instagram, so check them in the description as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.